This debate will come to order. The resolution before us today is How TV Affects Children. Representing the proposition are its first speaker, Brandon, and the second speaker, Eddie. Representing the opposition are its first speaker, Catherine, and the second speaker, Robin. On behalf of the House, I would like to express a sincere welcome to our judges. Simona, Alicia, and Colleen, and I, Justin, am your moderator. Each speaker will deliver a 5-minute constructive speech. The second speaker of each team will also get a 4-minute reply speech. After each speech, I will immediately call upon the next debater to begin his or her address. I call upon the first speaker, Brandon, to introduce the proposition of the Affirmative team for 5 minutes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Moderator, honorable judges, worthy opponent, ladies and gentlemen. The topic introduced today is how television affects children. Television is defined as an electric device that can show you many helpful things such as nature, culture, and science. Also, it can be used as an entertainment to allow you to have fun and to relax. We, the Affirmative team, believe that this statement is true and are like to demonstrate that television can have good influence on children. It is common knowledge that when children watch the right show, they will develop good habits. JoJo Circus makes kids want to exercise and also teaches them to make healthy food choices, such as fruits over candy. They might also explain how sugar affects the teeth and how fruits are vitamins that are essential for human body. Dora the Explorer encourages kids to move during the show. I learned many words and moved during the show before, and I liked it because the show is fun and educational. Also, preschoolers can learn the alphabet, while older students can learn different cultures, science, and many other subjects where there are shows that can help them. Also, it is a good educator and entertainer for children. If kids watch shows such as Sesame Street, they will learn the alphabet, various songs, stories, rules to stay healthy, and why children should move around and not be sedentary. They will also explain why hygiene is very important to stay healthy. Those are good rules to stay healthy, and it is essential for a healthy and happy life. I personally think that the show is fun, but I also learned alphabet, various songs, and many other important things to stay healthy. The show could be an additional tool to school that teaches kids in a more enjoyable, fun, and interactive way. It is healthy for the mind and body if children relax at the same time they learn, not from some bland worksheets, but from life in a form of colorful and interesting shows presented on TV. According to American Academy of Pediatrics, it is media education can help kids become less influenced by the bad effects of watching violent movies. Parents can turn off the TV and ask challenging questions when there are advertisements or violent parts of the movie, such as how the character could have acted other than being violent. There are also questions how if the food in the advertisement is a healthy choice, or what other type of food would be a better choice. That way, children develop critical thinking, and they will be able to know how to act if they're in the same situation as the character. Also, television becomes a very good tool in creating a bond between kids and their families, as well as generating good topics of discussion. Television is only an additional tool that teachers, parents, and educators have at their disposal and could be used in a positive way. I do understand that there are other views out there, but television does have its good attributes and should not be overlooked just because some people make bad choices. In conclusion, Mr. Moderator, worthy opponent, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to suggest to the honorable judges to take into consideration as a strong contender to vote for the affirmative side that television is good for children due to the fact that television is a good educator and entertainer. Children will develop good habits by watching television. Media education can help kids become less influenced by the bad effects of watching violent movies, encourages discussions between parents and children, and promotes critical thinking. Thank you.
I thank the member for his remarks. We shall now hear the first speaker, Catherine, for the opposition.
Good afternoon, Mr. Moderator, honorable judges, worthy opponents, ladies and gentlemen. The topic introduced today is, how does TV affect children? We agree with the definition given by the affirmative team. However, we the negative team believe that this statement is false. We would like to suggest the opposite. The TV does affect children in a negative way. Nowadays, there are televisions everywhere. But just because they exist and have been our part of our life for a very long time by now, they do not make us any smarter, healthier, or better people. We cannot deny the fact that the shows that are part of our mundane life and we are bombarded with are not affecting us in any way. Quite contrarily, those shows influence us in a very negative way in spite of what our worthy opponents trying to convince you of. TV not only shapes our minds in the way that we perceive the world around us, but also provides us with dangerous educational problems and health issues. It's common knowledge that television can affect children's education and health. Education is very important for children and adults the same. Television becomes an impediment in the kids' time for study and homework. Too much time spent in front of TV doesn't allow children to spend enough time studying. Television becomes a source of education and not necessarily reliable and intelligent one. Homework is part of the education system. It's designed to be a tool to make children smarter and practice what they study in school. The more time they spend in watching television, the less time will be spent doing what is necessary for a good and healthy future, and even much less time spent with the family. This will lead to the issue that television is just as bad for health as it is for education. Children who spend long periods of time in front of TV will develop long-lasting bad habits that will converge chronic health problems for the adults of tomorrow. They will have to deal with bad eyesight, bad eating habits, as well as becoming sedentary. As mentioned, although none of those habits would have been developed if those children would not have been exposed to long hours in front of television. Therefore, television is affecting children in a negative way. It's a good thing to have good habits, but television could teach us bad habits as well. According to the University of Michigan Health Department, when children watch their favorite character smoking, drinking alcohol, or doing other risky behaviors in the movie or show they watch, they can think the smoking, drinking alcohol is cool for them too. The University of Michigan Health Department also say that age 6 to 11 watch 28 hours of TV a week on average. 8 to 18 years old are watching TV for 4 hours and playing computer games for 2 hours. It makes children want to spend more time watching television. We can be poisoned by watching TV. Under the circumstances, no wonder that the television is called idiot box, and it affects the children negatively. In conclusion, Mr. Moderator, worthy opponents, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to suggest to the honorable judges to take into consideration as a strong challenger and vote for the negative side that television is not good for children due to strong influence and not necessarily right ones who have bad habits, and as proven by the University of Michigan, addiction by children of all ages. Thank you.
I thank the member for her remarks. I now call upon the second speaker, Robin, of the opposition for the rebuttal.
Good evening, Mr. Moderator, honorable judges, worthy opponents, ladies and gentlemen. The idea that television can have a good influence on children, as introduced by our worthy opponents, might be true. However, I disagree with this point because children who watch television don't have enough time to study. They get addicted and they watch 30 hours a week, which means they watch television on average 20% of their day. They also can't do their homework due to the lack of time. Another reason that I disagree is that they get addicted and they can't spend precious time with their families. Also, children can't have meaningful or any kind of conversations with others because they just watch television all the time and they can't speak. Therefore, television could be called, as someone already said it before, the idiot box. In addition, the Affirmative team said that kids watch television and develop good habits. But I beg to differ with that idea because according to the news, the bad commercials and pictures, children are taught bad behavior that they'll keep for the rest of their lives. Some 2 to 3-year-olds are watching television around 2 hours a day. 8 to 18-year-olds are watching television for 4 hours a day and playing computer games for 2 hours. This means they spend 25% of their day watching a screen. This is how those kids are getting addicted. Children can learn very easily and are easily predisposed to absorb bad behavior according to what they are exposed to more. Therefore, the TV can damage our life if we don't pay attention and allow it to so. They say that TV can influence children to be less violent. I disagree with this statement that television presents and portrays bad habits that are acceptable for the children to see. Also on TV, there are bad commercials. Children can learn how to smoke, how to fight. TV can give us lots of information, but the brain can't hold all the information, and it will only select what it sees repeatedly. In conclusion, honorable judges, I suggest for you to consider the negative side as the right idea to uphold. Television has a negative effect on children because TV will shape our minds mostly in a negative way due to the shows available. The amount of time spent in front of the TV prevents us from spending time on our studies. In addition, research shows that too much time spent in front of the TV is completely unhealthy. Therefore, television is not beneficial to children. Thank you.
I thank the member for his remarks. I now call upon the second speaker, Eddie, of the Affirmative Team's rebuttal.
Good evening, Mr. Moderator, honorable judges, worthy opponents, ladies and gentlemen. I present the Affirmative Team. My worthy opponents say television can give us health problems. This may be true, but I disagree with this idea because too much of anything, even good, can cause health problems. Therefore, if things are used in measure and the right way, they could become very helpful. This is the case with television as well. There are many shows on TV those days that allow children and parents to choose what is right for them. For example, JoJo's Circus is a show that teaches kids to move and make healthy food choices, such as eating fruits or vegetables. Dora the Explorer is another show that encourages kids to move while watching the show. Therefore, television can be a very useful tool in teaching children at a very young age to have healthy habits. Also, I disagree with the idea the opposite team introduced that television can affect our education. When children watch shows such as Sesame Street on television, they can learn the alphabet during the show. The presumption that television can affect our education negatively is merely a hypothesis that is hard to prove. Consequently, when kids watch smart shows on television, not only can they not have their education affected, but actually their education will benefit from the time spent in front of the television. Furthermore, the team presenting the negative side said television can give us health habits. However, we, the positive team, believe that this statement is false because parents can be in charge and must be involved what their children is watching. It seems that the American Academy of Pediatrics supports our affirmative team because it suggests that parents can turn off the television when there are bad shows, or they can talk about the show with the kids, teaching them what is wrong so the kids will need not develop bad habits, but also engage in a lifelong habit of talking to their parents, asking for their advice, and developing mutual trust. Therefore, television can be very beneficial for both parties, parents and children, for bringing them closer together. In conclusion, honorable judges, I suggest for you to consider the positive side as the correct idea to uphold. Television can affect children in a positive manner because children who watch educational shows can create good habits at a very young age. Also, they get to acquire more knowledge watching educational TV shows. And according to prestigious organizations, television can provide the necessary tools for the children and parents to counter the violence seen on TV. Television is beneficial to children. Thank you.
I thank the member for his remarks and for concluding the debate. Would the judges please complete your ballot? After doing so, you're invited to make constructive comments, but I would like to remind you that you're not to indicate which team has won the debate. Thank you.